Dear students, a very warm welcome to all of you in this online session on a very interesting topic of semester 1 of compulsory English of first year BCom, that is FYBCOM semester 1. This online platform is provided by Maratha Vidya Prasarak Samaj's KRT Arts, BH Commerce and AM Science means our beloved KTHM College, Nashik. We are very fortunate that although we are going through a tough time during this COVID 19 pandemic, our college has provided us this unique, innovative, and novel platform for teaching and learning. Friends, I am Tushar Patil, Assistant Professor of English. Welcome you to the session on presentation skills. At the very outset, I duly acknowledge the sources that helped me in making this presentation: www.google.com, www.slideshare.net, and Presenting to Win, a book by Jerry Weissman. These three sources have helped me in making the presentation skills, the presentation on this topic. Friends, presentation skills are the skills that you need in delivering effective and engaging presentations to a variety of audiences. These skills cover a variety of areas such as the structure of your presentation, the design of your slides, the tone of your voice, and the body language you convey. It is defined that presentation is nothing but a structured, prepared, and speech based means of communicating information or ideas to a group of interested people in order to inform them. So, we should understand that presentation skill is not an individual skill, but it is a bunch of so many skills which are required to make our presentation successful, effective, and a memorable one. Friends, you may have this question in your mind that why do we need to have presentation skills? We need presentation skills for structuring our presentation in proper and effective manner. If your presentation is proper and it is in effective manner, so it will catch the attention of so many viewers towards your presentation. We also need presentation skills for overcoming nervousness and fear. If you are presenting before a large audience and if you have a good presentation skills, you can simply overcome the nervousness and fear to face the audience. You should also know that we need presentation skills to develop our body language, to develop our non-verbal communication. If your non-verbal communication is effective, ultimately it will make your presentation effective and attention catchy. Presentation skills makes us aware of the things that we do not supposed to do during our presentation. Means we can learn what not to do during the presentation if we have good presentation skills. And lastly, it helps us to design and use the visual support effectively. Friends, you should understand that in your presentation, verbal and non-verbal supports matter a lot. Means both words and visual effects will make your presentation catchy, will make your presentation effective, and you will become a different presenter than the rest of others. So for these 5 reasons, we need presentation skills among us. Since we are going through a very competitive era, that is global era we can say, so in this era we must have unique presentation skills that will be remembered by the audience for a longer time. So for these 5 purposes, you must have good presentation skills among you. Friends, we need to plan before the actual presentation for the audience. So presentation is always goes through 3 steps: pre-presentation, during presentation, and post-presentation. So this slide deals with the pre-presentation planning. So you must have these three questions in your mind before the actual presentation. We should always remember the purpose of our presentation. What is the reason? What is the purpose of our presentation? If you have a good clarity of the purpose of your presentation, I think your presentation will be more effective. So first question you should always have in your mind, that what is the purpose of my presentation. Second thing, who will be your audience? So age of your audience, the language that is feasible for the audience, the social context of the audience, and the aspirations or expectations of the audience after or through your presentation. So if you have these parts or these things in your mind regarding the audience, I think your presentation will be more effective. And last question, which is very important, I personally think, that what you want to achieve through your presentation. What is the aim of your presentation? What aim you want to attain? What goal you want to reach through your presentation? So the clarity of these three questions is nothing but the planning of your presentation. Friends, you might have experienced or witnessed some presentation which are just the failures despite of well planning. So only planning of presentation will not help you to make your presentation perfect and successful, but you should always take care these four things for your successful presentation. These are the causes of ineffective presentation, and you must deliberately avoid these causes in your own presentation. Some presenters fail to motivate the audience. Your beginning should be in such a way that you should motivate your audience to give their 100% attention, proper heed to your presentation. So in order to get this, you should motivate your audience. If you fail to motivate your audience, then the audience may not become one with the topic that you are covering in your presentation. So this is one of the causes of ineffective presentation, that some presenters fail to motivate the audience. If the structure of the presentation is confused, okay, it is confusing, then it is also the reason your presentation will become an ineffective. So proper structure should be maintained. A structure should be maintained of your presentation in such a way that the audience will get a link of the earlier and the next slide. So there should be a relation between the slides of your presentation. If you put excessive details in your slides, you can see that this is the slide where I have used as less words as possible. Okay, I have written only words, not sentences. So if you put excessive details in your slides, the audience may not like to read your presentation. They are interested to listen you. They are not interested, they do not like to read your slides. So what you want to explain, you just give a bullet point. You just give a central idea, central word or key word on your slide, and you have to explain it related to the topic or the idea that you have mentioned on your slide. So excessive details on the slides is also a cause of ineffective presentation. And lastly, poorly designed slides. By poorly designed slides, I mean the animation, means needless animation some people always give to their slides, needless graphics. If there is no need for any photograph, any image, any video or any visual effect, you should deliberately avoid it. So poorly designed slides means not having a correlation with the topic that you are dealing with, but gaudy and very decorative slides may distract the audience from your presentation. So I think you should understand, or you should take care, or you will take care that you will avoid these four things not to make your presentation ineffective. If you want to be an effective presenter, you have to deliberately avoid these four things. Means you have to motivate the audience. Your structure should not be confusing. You should not put the excessive details in your slides, and you should design the slides attractively. By attractive slides, I mean the necessary things that you want to show through your slides. So you should understand that these four things will surely help you not to become an ineffective presenter. Now, here are some tips for the effective presentation. If you follow these tips, you will make an effective, eye catchy, and worth remembering presentation. And what are the tips? The first tip is announce your topic clearly. As soon as you open your presentation, you should make your audience realize the topic that you are going to cover in the presentation. Second thing, state the objectives of your presentation. What you want to achieve through your presentation, after your presentation, this is nothing but an objectives of your presentation, and you have to make it clear at the very beginning of your presentation. So state the objectives to the audience that I want to carry out these things, I want to deal with these topics in my presentation. Provide facts and figures. If you are dealing with some statistical data or survey related information, you should provide facts and some figures. Why the facts and figures are important or relevant in the presentation? Because the audience will consider you as an authentic presenter. Okay, not the man who is talking in the air, but you have some proofs, you have some evidences, and on the basis of that, you are presenting your topic. So the facts and figures will make you reliable, and authentic person through your presentation. You should also maintain the eye contact. Okay, you should maintain the eye contact to the audience. It does not mean that you should not look at the slides. Okay, you should make such a balance, appropriate balance, by looking at the slides and the audience one and at the same time. Okay, you should not neglect, you should not overlook the audience who are listening you, because what the audience is expecting from you, that you should give a proper heed, proper attention to all the audience. So maintaining eye contact is very important for an effective presentation. Friends, do not lock your arms when you are presenting or talking to the audience. Locking the arms means you are in a defensive mood. Locking the arms means you are not properly prepared for the presentation. Locking the arms is one of the signals of non-verbal communication, body language. So, proper body language means not locking your arms while presenting the topic to the audience. And do not read your presentation, but memorize the script. Okay, just the bullet points or the central and key words on the slide will surely help you what you want to talk to the audience, what you want to present to the audience. So do not read the presentation on the slide. Okay, just take the help of some bullet points which you have mentioned or inserted on your slide, and just memorize the script and present before the audience. Do not stand between the audience and slides. This may distract the attention, the concentration of the audience, because they might have note down, taking a note down of the important keywords which you have mentioned in your slides. So if you stand between the audience and the slides, the audience will not hold their attention for a long time. They may distract their attention. They may go with some other issues, but they will not listen you properly. So do not stand between the audience and the slides. Take a left or right side of the presentation and explain it by using both of your open arms, open hands, and with a smile on your face. This is one of the very important tips, that follow the 6x7 rule. What is this 6x7 rule? That on each slide, the number of lines should not be more than 7. I repeat, on each slide, the number of lines should not exceed or should not be more than 7, and in each line there should not be more than 6 words. Okay, I think you understand it, 6x7 rule. I repeat that the total number of lines on each slide will not be more than 7, and in each line number of words should not be more than 6. Okay, excluding the title of your slide. The title is not excluded in the 6 by 7 rule. Title is a different format. Okay, after title, what you have written now, here you can see that I have inserted only 5 lines. Okay, and you can see that major or keywords on each line are not more than 6. Okay, except the first one, that do not stand between the audience and the slides. If you count the number of words, they are 8, but the keywords that standing between the audience and slides, these are 4 keywords in my line. So generally, or most possibly, you should follow this rule that 6 words should be maintained in each line, and number of lines should not be exceed to the number 7. Why this is important? Because the psychology says that an individual cannot give proper attention or cannot concentrate on the bulky words or bulky text. If you have mentioned excessive words and excessive details on your slide, the audience will not like, or they are not interested to read your slide. So you should follow the rule of 6 by 7 for this purpose. You should be very relaxed while you are presenting. Take a proper breathe. Okay, take a proper relax and present in such a way that you are talking to your friends. You are talking in an informal situation. Although it is a very formal scenario, it is a very formal context, but you should appear that you are a very confident person. You have prepared well. That is why you should not show on your face that you are tensed, you are worried about your presentation, and so many things. So taking a proper breathe and relax, you should appear relaxed while presenting to the audience. You have to repeat some important points in your presentation. If you are mentioning some important things or important points, you are covering some important points in your presentation, I personally think that repetition of the important points will make the understanding of the audience more better. So repetition is always important, and not of all the things but of some important points. And remembers that winners continue and losers stop. Although you baffled or feel confused on a particular slide, and if you forget whatever the content you have prepared, the matter of presentation you have prepared, you should not quit your presentation. You should not stop there. You should jump over and switch over to another slide and begin with a new zest, begin with a new enthusiasm, begin with a new confidence. But you should always bear in your mind that winners always continue and losers always stop. So I want you to be winners and not the losers. Okay, you are my students, and I want you that you should be winners through your presentation, not the losers. So, and for this, if you want to be a winner in your presentation, plan well before the actual presentation. I strongly feel that you will become a successful winner and successful presenter through your presentations. Friends, some non-verbal signals from the audience are also very crucial to be taken care of, because you are not the alone in the context of presentation. Okay, you are the mediator between your presentation and the audience. The presentation is not for you, the presentation is for the audience. Okay, and you are just the mediator, you are just the medium to transfer the content of presentation among the audience. So you have to be very careful what the audience are signaling, okay, through their non-verbal communication. If you find these 6 types of signals from the audience, it means that either you are making the presentation very confusing, or there is no interesting part in your presentation, or the audience is different and the topic that you have selected is different. The audience has none of not to take care, not to consider anything from your presentation. They are not interested to understand and to listen you. If they look down, okay, instead of looking at you and the presentation, if they look down, this is a negative non-verbal signal from the audience. If they start yawning, okay, it is also a non-verbal signal. And you know better that when you are in the classroom and you start yawning, what is the feeling that you have experienced or you go through. Okay, yawning suggests that now it is too much and the person has to stop. So yawning is one of the signals from the audience for the presenter. Whispering, if they start talking to each other, or they start whispering to each other, it means that they have lost their interest, they have lost their concentration from your presentation. Tapping their feet, if they start tapping their feet and while listening, they are looking at you but they are tapping their feet, it means that they are just looking at you but they are not listening you. Touching or rubbing their face, if you find a particular audience, or some of the people in the audience, they are touching and rubbing their face continuously, so I think you should understand this signal, and either you have to make or take a interesting turn in your presentation, or wind up your presentation as early as possible. Scratching the face or forehead and nose, these are also the negative non-verbal signals from the audience that will surely help you to understand if you are reaching to the hearts of the audience. Reaching to the brains of the audience is not a successful presentation. Reaching the both heads as well as hearts of the audience is a sign of a good and successful presenter. That is why you should take care of these six signals from the audience. And friends, with this brief note on presentation skills, I want you to go through this assignment and send it back to me through my email. So what is the assignment for you after this presentation? Make a short presentation on the topic of your choice. Any topic of your choice, any topic, not it is not necessarily related to your FYBCOM, it is not necessarily related to your area of study, that is commerce, but any topic of your choice, but you have to make a short presentation on the topic with a number of slides not more than 10. Okay, only limited slides you have to use, means within 10 slides you have to finish your presentation, and you have to follow the 6 by 7 rule. So what is 6 by 7 rule? Lines of each slide should not exceed 7 lines, means lines of your presentation on each slide should be less than 7, and less than 6 words should be there in each line. So 6 by 7 means 42 words should be there on each slide in your presentation skill. And when you make this presentation, and if you think that now your presentation or assignment is proper, and you are happy with your creation, you have to send it to me with this email ID which is given on the slide: TUSHARPATIL Tushar Patil @kthmcollege.ac.in. Fine. So I think you understand the assignment that which is very much based on the topic that we have covered in this session. So at last, I thank you all for listening to me from this online video. I will come again with equally important and interesting topic through KTHM Learning Portal. Till then, take care and keep studying. Thank you. Thank you so much.